Okay, thank you very much, guys. My name is Akash Mandra. I'm an enterprise sales manager working for Research in Motion, and I'm based at RIM's office in New Delhi. Topic of my presentation today is really about BlackBerry Enterprise Server technology and solutions, which enable employees in a large organization to really communicate and really collaborate much more effectively, and also more importantly, how the enterprises can now really manage these large number of mobile workers, much more efficiently and so. So just before we're going into it, I thought I'd just briefly talk about like some of the points, what are the most important components of social collaboration today from a mobility perspective. First one is really about identifying those people with the relevant knowledge to connect with each other faster and while on the move all the time. Secondly, about centralizing company documentation information such that they can be viewable, editable by the people who require them wherever they are, whenever they want. It's really about removing the barriers to communicate, being able to connect with each other in real time, enabling faster, more immediate decision making. And lastly, it's about encouraging information learning and sharing, thus reducing the need for formal training or so. Today, social collaboration has gone mobile. In terms of the stats, I'm sure you've heard like a lot today. So I'm not going to go really like too much into it. But what's more importantly is from our space, what we've seen is that last quarter was a very, very interesting time. According to IDC, according to Morgan Stanley, there were more number of smartphones and tablets sold as compared to desktops and the laptops combined. Okay, and smartphones are now really becoming the preferred platform to enable collaboration on the move, to communicate with employees in real time, and basically do every aspect of a business as well. So what is the challenge for enterprises today as they're looking to basically deploy a large amount of smartphones in the enterprise? First one is that the enterprises really need to implement a strategic enterprise platform which provides an end-to-end mobility solution versus a very single like an ad hoc or like a point solution. Secondly, more importantly, is that they need to provide the similar experience on a smartphone to what they get on the actual desktop. Thirdly is to that, they really need to provide the tools such that when the employee is on the move, on his smartphone, he can basically collaborate in real time with the users. So the same way he could do it on his desktop, same way he could also do it on his actual smartphone as well. The smartphones, they need to provide very, very strong, very, very superior battery life. They also need to basically enable applications which have been created for the desktop to seamlessly work onto the smartphones now. And of course, you need to provide to enable end-to-end security of the actual wireless data when it is going over the air. Of course, as smartphones going to be deployed in large numbers, the more important aspect is that they need to be effectively managed out there. And lastly, of course, is that the overall solution which can deploy needs to be very much cost-effective, and also that the overall cost of ownership needs to be affordable as well, and lower as well. Before going into it, I just want to talk very briefly about who Research in Motion is. Last year, we sold more than 53 million smartphones worldwide. We are now regarded as the 5th biggest mobile phone company worldwide. So it's not just about the 5th biggest smartphone company, but the overall space, 5th biggest mobile phone company. Last year we've been regarded as by the analysts in the India market as the fastest growing smartphone company in the India market. The amount of units what we sold last quarter was actually more than the number of units what we sold in the entire year 2009. From an overall smartphone market share perspective, in India now there's now more than tens of millions of smartphones sold, and we have approximately about 12% market share of that. We have more than 11,000 registered developers in the India market who are basically creating applications on the BlackBerry platform. We've had very, very strong and strategic relationship with IBM since day one. That is from 11 years ago. And also IBM itself is a very large customer for us. There's more than 40,000 BlackBerries deployed across IBM worldwide. So what is the BlackBerry Enterprise Server platform really all about? It's basically an end-to-end solution which basically mobilizes the entire desktop, email. It mobilizes the overall real-time collaboration. It also mobilizes the entire desktop from an application perspective. So any application which can work on a desktop, we can bring it onto the BlackBerry smartphone itself. And lastly, more importantly, is that we can also mobilize IP-based desk phone as well, such that when you're basically out of out of the office or whatever, all your calls can be routed through your IP-based infrastructure, your IP-based desk phone infrastructure as well. So at the end, it's an end-to-end solution versus basically different a collision of different kind of like point solutions or so. First of all, we totally mobilized the entire Lotus Domino email perspective. So basically the same experience what you get when you're on your desktop from an overall email, contact calendar, you would get that on your BlackBerry as well. It is totally synchronized in real time. When you get your email on your BlackBerry, when you actually view it, if the actual content is in HTML format, in actual rich text